Hello, welcome. I'm just gonna ignore that it's delayed every time. This was a lot faster though. How are you guys doing? I didn't do a good job of ignoring that. Zelda week, and as someone who's not that big of a Zelda fan, I'm going to cash in on the cash cow that is Tears of the Kingdom. So we're doing all Zelda all this week. It's a little blown out. I apologize. Is that how I adjust it? Okay. Still getting used to the new camera, but yeah. I just don't really care about Zelda. I'm sorry, guys, but if you guys do, then I'm here for you. We've got a Minish Cap themed Zelda GBA. It's pretty cool. And then for people like me, if you want just something regular, we got a Glacier one that we're gonna do today too. So let's jump into that after we jump into what's new. Well, first, we still have the pink and blue Game Boy Pockets. We still have this red GBA SP that I'm surprised has not sold because it's clear plastic and it's an SP. That's like everything you guys love in one. So I don't know. Maybe you guys just don't like red. But then we also have 4 new things today. We've got a clear red, and I don't know if I should be doing clear red, but a clear red and white DMG with a Blastoise DMG that's got some nice white accents. And on top of that, if the clear red SP isn't your style, these hinges are still too new to just flip open, but we've got 2 more SPs. Now both look like they're all original colors, which I don't think there was a fully spice orange SP. I know that there was the half green, half orange one, but this is all orange, and it is a really nice orange. I think Nintendo Spice Orange is just really nice. So that's gonna be up, and then this isn't just a pearl blue SP, it's got a little Squirtle on the front. So if you like Squirtle, this one might be for you. So with all of that shilling out of the way, I'm gonna go ahead and put these up officially for sale. If you want any of these 4 or any of the 3 that we already have available, I'm gonna loosely put them up there. I'm gonna list them now. Starting with we'll go left to right here. Starting with the orange SP. You're confused as to where these are being sold. It's retroremastered.com. The orange one is up. Now the clear red one, the clear red DMG, is up if Nintendo would stop tweeting. There we go. Then we've got the Blastoise DMG is up. Maybe. There we go. And the Squirtle SP is live with the rest of them. So if you want any of these 4, or these guys here, then you can go pick them up now. retroremastered.com. If you add a /collections to the end of that, then you will go right to the collections page where you can choose what model you're looking for. But you can also just go to the base website and scroll down a little bit. Oh, also, going back to the face cam real quick, I don't know if I've made this clear enough. These sweatshirts and t-shirts are now available. I know a lot of people have asked me when these were going to be available, and they've been available for the past couple weeks now. The shirts more recently than the sweatshirts, but the printing issues are gone, and you can now grab a t-shirt or a sweatshirt. So yeah, that is all. We're gonna go back to the main cam here, and I'm gonna neatly put this stack of Game Boys back. But if you're wanting any of these, you can grab them now. And if you're wanting one of the advances that we're gonna work on right now, just hold your horses. Okay. And we got 34 votes in. Wow, I thought there'd be more yeses. But only 69% of you are hyped for Tears of the Kingdom come Friday. Tears of the Kingdom come Friday. I didn't even plan that. Those were just words that came out of my mouth. Anyways, let's say hello to everybody. We've got Stellars, DJ Ames, Sound Toxin, DC, Kelsey, That Guy, Jovi, Nathan, The Grateful Wooks, hope I said that right, Andy, and Boomer. Yes, I saw your email, Boomer. It was very, very sweet. I'm glad you're enjoying it. And I saw the picture on Discord too. But where do I find the cases? AliExpress, RGRS, Zed Labs, Retro Modding, all those places. I'd call them shells instead of cases though, because they're not cases. They're casings, but the cases typically means what goes around the shell of it. Hello, Casey and Charles and Alexander. Everybody always says hello after I start saying hellos. What's up, dude? I've been modding a GBA into a pink shell and screen for the lady and a Slate SP kit for myself today. Happy modding. Or modding. I know, it was a mess up, but it's still funny. Okay. And then did my first shell swap on my SP the other day thanks to your vids. Gonna get further into modding and soldering. Thanks for your uploads. The content is hecka fun to watch. You do a killer job with these. Thank you. And hello, Philip. Let's get to it. Put all of this stuff off to the side for now. Welcome, Dan the Man. I feel like we've had a Dan the Man in here for a while, but welcome if you are really new. What's up, Jake? I just got back my modded Game Boy from my local shop. Nice. Okay, screwdriver. Let's see. Did anybody see the latest mod that is being well, it's like still in development phase, but Laser Bear Industries is showing off a LCD for the center jewel in the GameCube, and it looks super cool. You can put anything you want on top of your GameCube in a screen form. Put like a little GIF or put a little video of whatever game you play as you play it. That'd be sick. I'm gonna zoom in a little bit more. Scooch those over. Better. I have a GBA, I want to mod it with backlight, but don't know how to solder. Okay, so that's something I've been thinking about more and more. I don't want to put out a video where I'm just like, here's soldering 101, because I was never officially taught anything. I didn't go to school for this. I just picked it up from YouTube, and honestly I found a lot of easier ways. Like, my soldering has just improved from practice and finding things out on my own. There hasn't been like a video that I've watched that I was like, oh, okay, like flux, cool. No, I'm not gonna say I figured that one out on my own, but there was no definitive thing other than me just practicing a lot and figuring out my own way of soldering, which probably isn't the proper way, but it works. And I've gotten pretty decent at it. And I think I have a lot of tips for beginners that are extremely helpful, because I feel like, no offense to any of my colleagues, which it's weird to call people colleagues on YouTube, but anyways, no offense to anybody, I just feel like there's not many people in the Game Boy space who are effective at teaching how to solder for beginners. I don't think I'm amazing at it either, but I don't want to do a full-scale tutorial video and get something pretty wrong because I don't know. But at the same time, I want to help people do the basic stuff, like what I do on streams all the time, or get them to a point where they can branch off on their own and learn more and practice more and do things like the N64 HDMI mod and other HDMI mods, stuff like that. So I'm trying to figure out the best way to do it without it being like a formal tutorial, if that makes sense. I do not do send-in services. DJ Ames is correct. I apologize. I don't want to accidentally break your childhood beloved Game Boy. I don't want to be responsible for it. Because if you've been around for a while, I do break things. Other people may not show it on their channels like me, but we all make mistakes, and I don't want to bear the responsibility of that. So that's why I teach you to do it yourself. And eventually, I'll hopefully have a video for every model on how to fix all the most common issues. You can play GBA games on the GameCube screen. That'd be sick. What screen did you get, Ben? I'm curious. Because you say mine look a lot better. Ah, yes, the Mudkip sticker. That was a nice Mudkip sticker on the back there. I did my GBA mod and screwed up the solder job. How do I make sure I don't burn any test pads? Asking for a friend. Yeah, like that's my best thing that I could figure out so far for teaching soldering in a way that I feel comfortable without getting mocked and ridiculed online. Is probably because I've had the solder practice kits forever, and I got those originally to do a soldering 101 video, and then ever since then it's been like a rainy day Friday video, and then even then I'm just like, I'd rather just not post a video than do a solder kit. I solder practice kit. But I feel like what the best way to go about it would be is designate a Friday like a month out and say, hey, if you want to learn how to solder, go buy the tools you need, the soldering iron, flux, solder, and then buy this kit, and then we're gonna all do it together live on a Friday stream. That would take a lot of coordination if people actually wanted to follow along themselves, but I think that's the best way I could think to do it. And then that would stay up on the main channel as a soldering tutorial I could point to and say, hey, if you want to learn how to solder, buy this kit, buy these tools you need, and then go follow along with this stream. I feel like that would be good, because also I'm pretty good at teaching on the fly. Most of my tutorials that I record, I just turn on the camera, well, all of the cameras, and go. So, I don't know. I feel like that would probably be the best way to do it. But it would also take a lot of coordination if I wanted to get a bunch of people to do it with me live on stream. Because it would also, I'd want to be able to ask questions as people are doing it. Because I feel like that'd be the best way to handle it, you know? People could remind me, oh yeah, that's a good thing to mention. Okay. Let's see. Already made a tutorial with Austin. I mean, like, yeah, I have mini soldering tutorials throughout a lot of my videos. But, like, the thing I point to right now is, I say make a macro, because if you can solder a tiny SMD resistor to a DS Lite motherboard, you can do any Game Boy mod. That's just that. Hindsight, I'm like, that maybe it's a little too hard, because it is very hard to solder that SMD resistor. But, I don't know. I also say it with confidence so people have confidence themselves, and then it doesn't seem as daunting, you know? Do you know of anyone who can answer EverDrive questions? I don't know. I don't have an EverDrive. I apologize. New to your channel, came across it as I recently modded DMG. Nice. What screen mod are you doing? Today we are doing the V2 screens. Oh, these are both this one. Okay, that's fine. Yeah, this is like the old. It's still the same exact kit. They've just edited how they do the sticky tape. This is the old style sticky tape that they used to use, but then once they updated the shells, they stopped doing that. But apparently one of the sellers is still selling it with this style of tape. Just fine, it works, but it's not ideal. And one of the sellers, meaning one of the sellers on AliExpress, all the retailers have updated everything. So. I don't know what brand the screen it was, but mine looks bigger and wider. Okay. It's probably one of the drop-in ones. Have I ever gotten into 3D printing? Yes. 3 times I've tried 3D printing, and 3 times it has not worked out in my favor. It just doesn't work out for me for whatever reason. Me and 3D printing don't get along. There we go. Get the sticker out of there. And we can get rid of this crappy plastic screen lens. Okay. I tried the Ender 3. I don't remember which model. I think it was. I don't know what I'm not gonna guess. I don't remember. I tried the Ender 3. Didn't like it. Tried a resin printer, but it was like too small for what I wanted. And then I got a bigger one, and it still just wasn't like, I could never get the hang of it, like getting the right settings and stuff like that, or it just wasn't up to my expectations, I guess. I want to try it a 4th time. I think now that I have more money that I could get like a higher quality printer, I would enjoy it more. But at the same time, I don't have the space for a 3D printer. So, yeah. I am actually going to... Do I have another one of those. That's still not right. Ah, there we go. I have a bunch of kits in this drawer that are all like unfinished, or not unfinished, but like I broke the screen or whatever, so the rest of the kit's just sitting in here. This is the updated tape, and it's a lot nicer for these shells that still have all three of the posts. It just fits right in. I was gonna stick that down. We should probably do the soldering. So I'll get out the other kit. My desktop is a mess already. Even more of a mess. I also want to get more into like the 3D modeling. Like I want to learn how to do that kind of stuff, because like I can't. I don't know. Right now, I do not have the wherewithal to be able to just say, oh, I need to make this thing for this niche thing that I've got that no one's ever made a thing for. Like, I wish I had that ability. And I know I could probably figure that out eventually. Just right now, I don't have that ability. So I think I would want to learn that before I get a 3D printer again. Do a Skype stream? 4K. I don't. What does a Skype stream entail? Remember to like and subscribe. I think that's a great idea, everyone. That's really genius of you. We've only got 24 likes compared to 45 people in here. That just doesn't seem right. Oh, it's weird. I do plan on buying a GBC mod with intentions that I might do it all wrong. Yeah. That happens. Have you ever used the Helder's Flex amp for the macro? Yes. And nothing against Helder. It's not a thing with him. It's just a thing with amps in general. Amps just amplify everything. They just make things louder. And if you have something that sounds bad, like let's say a macro speaker, and then you amplify it, it just makes it sound worse but louder. So unless there's a way that his flex amp also like made it sound nicer, and not just like getting rid of any buzzing noise, like actually makes it sound nicer, then it's just not worth it. And I don't think it's possible with the size of speakers we're dealing with. I don't know how Nintendo makes it sound so much nicer when it goes through their top screen. I don't know what magic it goes through. But it sounds a lot better when it's in DS form, and we need flex. Okay. And I saw Erwin ask about anybody seeing Guardians 3. I did. It was awesome. I still think it was... I need to see it more to judge it. I still think it's the weakest in the series, but that's like... That's still probably the best trilogy ever. I'd still say Guardians 3 was probably a top 10, top 15 movie for the MCU. I should clarify. And it's definitely something I recommend you go watch. But when you compare it to something like Guardians 1 and Guardians 2, I don't think it stacks up quite as much. But it's just still so good. The villain was amazing. The comedy was still on par. Maybe I'm just in denial because it's the end of an era. But that's my thoughts. I have to... I feel like you're joking, Joel. Because I don't remember that. I feel like you're just saying it as a joke. But I'm like, there was an otter in the movie, and maybe I don't remember it. You got my brain going. Anyways. Okay. Is the funny playing laminated IPS screen a good first mod? I had problems with it. I would watch my video on it. As skill-wise, it's gonna be about the same as this. It's gonna be slightly easier. I don't know. I can't say that. I was gonna say it's slightly easier because it's all in one. The screen's already pre-laminated, but it's not easier because it's a pain in the butt to get the screen to line up perfectly. The bracket sucks. The design of the shell is poor. It's not good. It's honestly very frustrating to me that they designed it that way, and I have not bought any since that video. So, I bought it for the video. I got it for free for the video. I bought more from the video to test more stuff, make sure it wasn't just a fluke, but I had multiple problems with multiple different versions, or not versions, the same version, but multiple different copies of the same mod. And what I've tried since has been so much better with other mod kits, so I don't know. Plus, I just don't think the screen is as good as this one. Trying to read, I hate when I'm trying to read the chat that's at the top, but then it wants to auto like connect to the latest chat. Hit me up. I've been a mechanical designer for years. That's the thing, is like I want to be able to pay people for their time. I can't afford to do that. You know? Like, I've gotten a few emails with people like, oh, let me edit for you for a month for free and see how you like it. It's like, I probably would enjoy you as an editor, random person, but at the same time, I cannot afford to hire you at the end of the month, and I don't want to also hire you for free. I feel like that's lame. You should be paid for your time. Yeah. I do not have it in me to... Peter... Did they say Peter bought a tip? I'm confused, but thank you for buying a tip probably months ago, according to the stream notifications. I lost my train of thought. And on the note of, I know we've kind of gotten past this, but on the note of teaching, if there's ever a stream where you're like, oh, I'm about to do this exact mod, could you like teach it? Could you do a mini tutorial? If you ever want me to go into tutorial mode, I can 100% do that for any given stream. You just gotta let me know. Game Boy Pocket or DMG? DMG 100%. I don't think you can mod. I don't think you can mod the PSP 2000. I think there's only IPS screens for the 1000 model. Unless you're talking about software mods, then it shouldn't be hard at all. Do you see yourself selling modded Game Boys for a while? Until YouTube can fully support me financially, I will keep modding Game Boys to sell, which will be a long time at this point. UV printing is expensive. The printers are like a minimum $5,000, which if you want a decent one, you're talking 10 to 20K probably. And the maintenance is a lot of work. You go through ink like crazy because you can't let it sit for too long as far as I'm aware, but yeah. Okay. I don't know, I don't have a way to hit you up, but if I do, if you join the Discord, I'll probably hit you up in the future when I do want to. That is very nice. Thank you, Cadmiral. I like your name. Okay. Have you ever had the trace pad detach on the ribbon cable while soldering? I have not personally. I've seen it, but I've not personally had it with ribbon cables like this. I'm usually fairly quick on ribbon cables. Okay, let's get the screens going. Buttons flying everywhere. I'm gonna zoom out a little bit. Okay. I keep seeing this over on the side where I'm used to having my phone sit, and the lightness of the shell makes me think that it's my phone screen on, like I'm getting a notification. But in fact, my phone is straight in front of me. Okay. Let's slide this into its spot oh so perfectly and place it down. How I have missed this cutout of shells. No extra piece I have to snip over here. All three of these are actually there. No thing to punch out in the center. It's beautiful. Come on. Okay. Screen. first of all, there's a screen lens in this kit that I stole the tape from. So I will steal the screen lens, slide that over here. I know game development companies who used to hire interns for exposure. Yeah, I could so do that, and then you would get no exposure because I don't know what, like, I don't get that much exposure for myself. So if anything, I'd probably be the opposite of that. I'd be like Linus, where you're on probation for 3 months. You would just be known as editor until I am like, okay, yeah, you're good. You're chill. Okay. Seems good there. Make sure all of that flows out of there. And buttons are in the screw bag. Gotta love when they put the buttons and the screws together and the screws are stuck in the buttons. So nice. Oh, also, I think I may have already pointed this out, but someone commented the other day on one of my community posts where I was showing off the builds that would be in the drops, and they commented on how they couldn't unsee that the labels on the buttons were off center. They're supposed to be off center. A and B are not supposed to be center on these buttons. They're supposed to be to the left. I didn't think about that until I saw it like a week later. Not the comment, like I saw the comment like, oh man, I didn't even notice that. I didn't notice it because that's the same thing across all of Game Boy Advances. Not SPs, but GBAs are just offset. Yes. RetroRemastered.com is where I sell all of my stuff. I advise you to check links in descriptions. not trying to tease you too much. Not trying to be mean, but you're welcome, more than welcome to ask questions about that. But I almost always have everything linked in the description. Okay, foam. Place that down. We have our light pipe installed, so we're good. Speaker is in its place. I am realizing that the screen lens is not stuck to the screen yet. Or at least stuck to the shell, it doesn't stick to the screen. will very carefully screw this down. Without getting my fingers on the screen. Also, apologies, I was gonna put a band-aid on my finger, but then I didn't. But those are the battle scars from one of the SPs I made last night. It was from a broken shell, and when I popped the SP hinge out, one of them, the broken piece of the shell came flying out with it and dug right into my skin. It was not fun. I highly recommend a lot of stuff, and that is not one of the things I would highly recommend. Gosh darn it. Stupid plastic. Okay, now I gotta... Come on, move into position. There we go. Anyways. Get that last Phillips screw in. And we can solder this last bit. I am not hyped for it. I mean, I'm hyped for everybody who's excited for it. I'm excited for you. But I am not a Zelda fan. I would like to be. I've attempted to start playing Link's Awakening, but I also just I just don't really know what to do in Zelda games. And I don't know what game is a good place to start. I played a bit of Breath of the Wild. Maybe I should start over. Maybe that is the best starting point. I don't know. Maybe that's a great topic. Zelda peeps. Where's the best place for a complete Zelda noob to start in the series? Wind Waker, that's the best place to start. Hello, Dylan. You'll say start from... See, I did try NES. The NES one, the original. And I absolutely hated it. I was like, I don't know where to go. All these enemies are tough. How do you get... is this all you get? This sword? Or whatever it was? I did not enjoy it. I think that would be a game that I should revisit after I get into the series. And I feel like that kind of NES game heavily relies on the guidebook that does not exist anymore. I mean, they exist, obviously, but you don't really get the manuals with used games that came in cardboard boxes originally. And I feel like that's a game that really relied on the manual to teach people. A lot of people answered that. Oh wow. Start with Breath of the Wild or Skyward Sword. Then Link's Awakening, then so you're saying OG, Link's Awakening, Link to the Past. Do you think for Link's Awakening, Game Boy version or Nintendo Switch version, what would be more beginner friendly? Like, even though I know I'm the Game Boy guy, I'm looking for beginner friendliness here. Also, keep in mind, I'm not good at video games. I am very bad at video games, actually. Very bad. I don't mind motion control. I started with Breath of the Wild, honestly, and loved it. Love open world type games. See, like, I like open worlds more for, like, the world building part of it, like, just having a lot of land to cover. But I also am the type of person who likes a little bit of structure. And I think that's why I stopped playing Breath of the Wild. Was because I didn't, unless I was just like completely missing everything. I want them to say, go here. But if you want to, you can go wherever you want. But we recommend going this way. You know, like, would we say that the Jedi Fallen Order and Jedi Survivor, those are open world games? Because that's what I think of when I think of open world type games. Like God of War is an open world game, but there's still a story structure where you're like, okay, go here when you're ready. That's what I need. Like Mario 64, I don't really care for because it's just like get 70 stars and eventually you'll find Bowser. It's like I just have to go around and find stars. I don't know. I'm not looking for a scavenger hunt. That's my thought process. Also realizing I did not screw that down very far. Nice thing about clear shells, I can see how deep the screw is going. Famous last words. Cool. Okay, let's read what everybody says. I cannot recommend playing any Zelda without a guide. Yeah, that's what I was thinking. Twilight Princess feels pretty classic. I'm biased to Wind Waker. Okay. Wind Waker seems to be the popular choice. Any recommendations for a good quality DS Lite shell? The best one is Extreme Rate. DS Lite shells are just not good yet, though. I love Extreme Rate. They still have some work to do on theirs. Most of it comes down to the screw choice of these companies. That's what a lot of the shells come down to, is the strength of the screw post and the strength of the screw. And neither of them seem to focus on that. I don't get that. But any Game Boy shell for all the models are pretty good now. But yeah, with DS Lite shells, the best one is Extreme Rate. and I guess I am a little biased, but at the same time, I feel like this is something you want bias for. I do get financial benefit from you purchasing them if you use my code Jake to save you some money and give me money. But honestly, I would still recommend them the most, even if I didn't have a code with them. So, but code Jake saves you 10% at Extreme Rate. Okay, let's test this one, since apparently I'm ahead of schedule and I don't have any charged batteries on this table. Normally I've been doing them or finishing these both at the same time, but not this time. Oh yeah, you need a guide for the OG one. Not sure how people did it back in the day. Yeah. Have you played Minish Cap? That's a good balance between guided and self-discovery. I have not. I do not own that, even though that's the theme of the next GBA we're doing. Do I have a channel where I just game? I do not. Very randomly, I've streamed on Twitch a couple times. Members have had some game streams, but then I kind of stopped doing that. I'm just not good at video games, and when I'm playing video games, it's hard to do commentary. So I just kind of don't do it anymore. I would love to. If I had a friend to bounce off of and play video games with, I would stream games. But I also don't have the time for that. So maybe in the future when I'm doing less of this. Okay. I think Twilight Princess is pretty linear for how open it is, kind of similar to that. Okay. I have not played Phantom Hourglass, and all I know about it is that it's the DS game. Where is it? I do have a Zelda game that I typically use for 3DS testing. Forgot my hat is forward this whole time. A Link Between Worlds. I own this one. This came included in a 3DS I bought a long time ago. I don't know if that's any good, but I own it. Okay, let's actually test this thing. Works. Woo! Okay. I'm gonna need to push the screen lens over to the right a little bit. So I didn't install it the best, but that's alright. That's easily fixable. There's not much travel on down, and I'm pretty sure that's what's causing it to not press well. So we'll hold off on that for a moment. Well, actually, we should. Yeah, okay. Brightness adjustment. Oh, you couldn't see that at all. Let's get a. Yeah, let's take this out. This. That way we can actually see the borders of the screen. Beautiful. That's a lot better. Cool. Okay. Then we can take that, wipe off all of the marks from the suction cup. And we're stylish. I'm going to list this for sale, and I'll make sure that this D-pad is like fully working. I test my stuff a lot more thoroughly now because I was tired of getting a lot of returns on stuff because my initial tests just weren't strong enough. I think post sale or post build, but I'm a lot more in depth now. So if you want this, I'm gonna list it now. Know that down on the D-pad issue will be fixed by the time I print your label. So retroremaster.com/collection/GBA, top link in the description. If any of my moderators want to add that link in the chat, that would be super awesome. And let's see here. We'll copy the Indigo listing over here. So it's pretty comparable to this one. Glacier. Don't want to make it active yet because I don't want anybody to try and snipe it before I even take a picture of it. And active. There we go. It is now listed. Top link in the description, retroremaster.com/collections/GBA. If you want it, you can have it. Thank you, DC. Alright. Link is in the chat now. Every time I have a weird feeling D-pad, I find out the membrane is torn. That is a very common problem. Welcome, Gabriel. It's a very common problem. But for the new stuff, sometimes it just doesn't get fully filled in the injection mold in the factory. And it's not something that's like super visible. Like, you have to really study each part, and I don't think they do when they're making them. But thankfully for me, I have a bunch of them, so. Get all of that out of there. And yeah. See, these shells for the building process aren't my favorite because you have to snip this one, but it is better overall just because that way you can use multiple different mod kits with one shell, and the new one's even more useful for all of them. But it's really annoying because each of these things isn't very doesn't help you keep it straight. It makes it really easy to curve the stuff, so I don't like it as much. Okay, since we've got the old style tape, I'm going to cut. Wait, is it like this? It is like that. Okay. Cut that out. Now, Should be able to just put that up there. Punch that through. There we go. Okay, and we can put this down. Should play the Triforce Heroes together with some friends on 3DS. That's the way I started jumping into Zelda games. Now that is an interesting take. Is that an online thing, or is that has to be local multiplayer? Because I don't know. I don't think I have any friends near me that have a 3DS anymore, so that would be a hard bargain. I would say Wind Waker HD, having never played it and have only played the original, but it sounds like the HD streamlined a lot. Okay. Wind Waker might just be it then. What am I putting all the buttons down for? I don't know. Need to worry about the screen. But I'll put these metal tabs in, then we can do the screen. Green. And plug this in here. And we can peel this. Come on, wires. Make sure those are poking out of the right holes. Now we can do all the buttons. R, L, side piece, power. B. Whoa. A. Get the membranes. I'm gonna get out this thing first. The screws. Now we can do the membranes. Do you know a way to map pressing both start and select buttons at the same time to create its own button stroke? No. Not without just always pressing them both at the same time every time. Because you could just solder the test pad, like TP2 to TP3, I'm pretty sure. That's it. TP2 to TP3. I think TP3 start. You just solder the test pads together, and then every time you press one, the other one would press two. But I don't know how useful that would be. The phone. One screw. And there's two. Then we can safely install screw number 3 without having to hold on to the console. I'm looking at installing a Bluetooth audio board in there and would use some new buttons and use some new button combination to turn it on and off. Yeah, with that stuff, that's something you'd have to do in like the software for installing the Bluetooth mod. So it's not something that you could just do with soldering it. You'd have to like put the Bluetooth something on your own board, and then you're asking the wrong guy. I don't know that stuff. This is going off of the very little knowledge that I have on this stuff. It would have to be something in software. Okay. There's wire number 1. Just really use tweezers to get closer. Gonna use tweezers to get closer. Probably would benefit from some flux. I'm not very zoomed in, I apologize. That's not going to be very good either. But it's not anything special, so. Okay. Now I can clean this tip and move along, little doggy. Okay. Put that in. That in. Now we're way too zoomed in. We're way too zoomed out. That's about perfect. That's Goldilocks right there. Okay. Then we can put this in. I'm also realizing I haven't put in the screen lens yet, but that's fine. Something we can do at the end. I've also started sticking the wire underneath the cartridge, like underneath the cart slot, not in the middle. Can't really show it on camera, it's not easy to show on camera. But like, actually underneath it. Because there is a gap between it and the board. And it keeps it nice and neat, and it pretty much lines it up so it goes in between those two screw posts, so you're not having any pinching going on, which is nice. I did do a Bluetooth mod for the DMG, but I was not the one that created it, and I honestly don't remember what I did to get it to turn on and off. It might have been one of those things. I don't know if I ever figured it out, but it definitely just automatically connected to anything Bluetooth, because I remember in the video while I was recording, it connected to Bluetooth on my sound bar and surround sound, and the volume was controlled by the Game Boy's volume wheel, which was turned all the way up. So I then had, not to spoil the video, but I then had the Tetris music in the menu blaring at max volume that my surround sound could go. And while I wasn't like right in front of the sound bar or anything, that was the video I decided to shoot like right here back before I had my set. And I have my surround sound speakers hide up in this odd window that we have in this room, and so there's one of the surround sound speakers was right next to my left ear. And while they're small, they still produce a lot of sound. Plus, with just all of it, I've never attempted to listen to anything at max volume from it before. I don't think I'd recommend it. That's a very old video. There we go. I feel like I should have waited to place that until I had it turned on. Never mind. I nailed that. Brightness adjustment works. Let's test the buttons. Hopefully everything's good. Beautiful. P, A, right, left, down, up, start, select, R, L. Beautiful. Everything works. There we go. What is your strategy in terms of recapping the Game Boys? I don't recap them unless I need them. Most people don't. It's just not something that's been an issue yet in this time. Yeah, would it help? Or would it help like the longevity of it? It probably, but capacitors haven't been an issue really at all, and I've fixed hundreds of Game Boys in the past couple of years, so I don't think it's really necessary. The time it takes to recap everything is just like, I don't know, I don't think it's worth the time yet. So, alright, if you want to buy this Game Boy, I'm gonna list it right now. Where's my phone? It's still up here. Let's turn that on. And, oh yeah, actually, I want to turn that off anyways. Let's put the stickers on first. N64s are the real ones needing new caps, no cap. Yeah, if this was like, if I did Game Gear mods, then yeah, I would probably recap them, but I don't do Game Gear mods. Mainly because no one has interest in them. I'm sure like one of you might have just been like, hey, I have interest in them. Most people from my subscriber base do not have any interest in a Game Gear mod. And I know that based off of analytics, because I know what you guys search for on YouTube. Not everything. I know relatively the types of things you guys search for, and it's mostly PS2 and Game Boy stuff. Okay, because I'm always looking, because I want to see if there's anything new that I haven't covered that you guys are searching out, you know? Okay, but for reals now, if you're wanting this, there's a link not a direct link, but a link to the website in the chat. There's a link directly to the GBA section in the description, the top link in the description. That's not, wait. Yeah, that's right, okay. I was thinking I had the wrong price for this. I think I might have had that cut off a little bit. That's fine. Yeah, I'll just retake it. Why not? And turn this off. Boom. So you can see the stickers too. And it is now officially live on the website retroremastered.com/collections/GBA. Okay, but not only is this live, but so is this. Let's zoom out here. Oof, you can see the mess now that I've zoomed out. Crazy. We got those. We've got these Game Boy Pockets. Let's see if we can move those down. You can see my Stream Deck. Nick! Congratulations. That was fast. So this one's no longer for sale. And we've got these three up here. We've got this one from earlier. We've got these two that we just added. And then we've got these two that we also just added. I'm gonna put this one over here. Less blown out. It's still pretty blown out. But we've got all of these Game Boys for sale right now. If you're interested in a Game Boy, minus this one, these are all for sale. Thank you to, was it Nick? I already forgot the name. Was that Nick? Thank you to Nick for buying the Zelda Game Boy Advance. And if you want any of these, check that link in the description, retroremastered.com, as well as this sweatshirt right here, also in the form of a shirt. Also, there's I'll just take this off because I am getting a little warm. Excuse the hair, a little messy. It's called bedhead. Anyways, we also have this shirt available too. It's called the Ditto line because we've got a lot of the Pokemon. A lot of them. There's 4 Pokemon: the fully evolved Kanto starters and the main dude across all of Pokemon in their Ditto forms. Pinched my shirt. But anyways, we got tons of merch. We got tons of Game Boys now. I mean, this is a lot of Game Boys. It's that one. There's a lot of Game Boys for sale for me. So if there's anything you're wanting, check out the website. But that is about it for me. I'm gonna go to work. I'm gonna get some other stuff. Thank you for calling me beautiful, Halo. I have a sticker on. Is it on my laptop? I can't see. There's a quick story. There's a sticker that says "You are beautiful" that you may or may not know about. But my that's an old notification. But still, thank you, David. Wait, that's an old notification. This is mirrored. But my best friend Aaron would go around putting the "You are beautiful" stickers all over our high school, and I used to have them on my water bottle and a bunch of other things. But anyways, I know I'm beautiful. Anyways, I will see you guys in the next one. Later, guys. Zelda GBA on Wednesday, by the way. Sorry, I totally messed up that end of the stream. Oh my gosh, this is so awkward now. Bye.